Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Tonight reviewing, actually it's a homebrew. So this is, let me go into the background of it. It was a Simply Mild kit. So Simply kits are made by Wraggys. They tend, good evening Katie. They tend to go from anything from £10 to £16. The ginger kit, the ginger beer kit, is the most expensive of the kits. Good evening. There we go. Let me just put that back up. There we go. So yeah, this was a £10 kit. The normal ABV for this kit is around 4%. I forgot to do a quick ABV calculator, and I can't remember, to be honest, what it said earlier. I think it's about 8% though, so it's just in the Imperial territory. And so 3 extra bags of sugar, pumpkin spiced syrup as well right at the end, which it has actually fermented a bit out of, which I was a bit annoyed about that, but you know, you can't win. I should have waited until I actually bottling stage. I will have to put a bit of sugar in now just to make sure that it we get a true secondary fermentation. I've just barreled it up on the last review. So, and good evening. I was looking forward to this one. So, I've named it Wraggy Avenue, #1, as you would. You know, come out with some names, don't you? Basically, it's an Imperial pumpkin spiced. So, I'll pour it out. Let's do it on camera, just to make sure people realise that I'm actually being legit, you know. It's getting bottled. So there's the pump. There's the barrel rather. Pump my battery. So bearing in mind this has just been barreled, so it is not really the finished article. But still, it gives a good indication as to what the finished article is going to be. So, even though it's not the finished article, did Bob missing Wraggy Avenue? He should have done. Yeah. Yeah, he'd rock down to it, that's for sure. Yeah, rock down to Wraggy Avenue. Yeah. And then... So yeah, to say it was as murky as hell yesterday, it's clearing. I'll give you an example of homebrew. For those in the background, a lot of people here are homebrewers, so they'll understand. If you look here, I'll show you the Imperial ginger barley wine. So yesterday, that was as murky as they come. That has already cleared and solid, bloody solid, the bottle. So already, you know, that's looking good. And you look at it, you can't really see the top. I don't want to stir it up too much if I can. But it's crystal clear now. So, you know, from a homebrew point of view, this is where, you know, a lot of people out there, you see the craft brewers and their grain brewing. And that. If you can't afford to grain brew, and let's be fair, a lot of us can't. That cleared massively, yeah, and that's from yesterday. It looked like Bisto yesterday, yeah, it looked awful yesterday. And it's cleared beautifully. I expect both these two to do the same. So anyway, as you would expect, this is still a bit hazy. It's mahogany colour, can you call it mahogany chestnut? It's very difficult sometimes with colours. A little bit of a head on there. Bisto Pisto, yeah. This is Wraggy Avenue. So yeah, on the nose, this is the interesting part. Will the pumpkin spice syrup last through the secondary fermentation? Oh, on the nose, banana straight away. Smells boozy as well. Round about 8%. I think the starting gravity was 1080. It finished at 1015, I think it was earlier. If I'd got my computer, I've got my computer here, haven't I? Twat. So let me, online, let me just see if I can do it. Here we go. My keyboard's rubbish. One does apologise. 2 seconds. Online Abv calculator. Online, no. O-N. Online, yeah, Abv. Abv calculator. There we go. Right, so brewers by volume. It's good having all these calculators, isn't it? Saves you even messing about doing it yourself. So, put in 180, put in 115. What someone come up with a bugger? Update 8.53%. So, hey, ka-ching. We're talking Imperial. I do want to push the boundaries though. So I am going to do an Imperial stout, but what I'm going to do is use the Love Brewing, okay, restore chat. I've lost the chat. Use the Love Brewing yeast and then add more sugar and the rum and raisin, but also use a strong yeast as well to really ramp it up. So there we go. So, looks alright. Let's give it a taste. I'm not expecting too much, but the aroma's really nice. I don't know about a full-on pumpkin spiced aroma, but they come in handy, don't they? Oh. And good evening. That is exquisite. And I've got to say, wow. So the pumpkin spice really gives more flavour to the beer. I mean, basically, it's a bog standard mild kit. It is. It's one of the cheapest kits on the market. Adding the 3 kilograms of sugar, adding the pumpkin spice syrup it was about 2 weeks into the brew, to be fair, because of the cold weather in the UK. And this is made, I mean, bear in mind it's got a clear, so it's still murky. Give it a couple of days, it's got a clear, it's got a secondary ferment. As a day one, straight from the barrel brew, where you just take it straight out the barrel. It's very nice. Oh. I mean, I've had the Simply Ginger Beer kits before, and ramped them up. Exactly, yeah. That's the beauty. Whatever you taste at this moment in time, it's only going to get better and probably stronger as well, if the truth's known. At least by anything up to half or to a 1%. They've been struggling to get supplies in. Ooh. I wonder if that's because of the border, the borders between Northern Ireland and I presume, Belfast as well. I presume that's a thing since Brexit. Yeah, I think it might be a Brexit issue, Supermarkets around here are empty as well. Good thing we do some home brewing, isn't it? Home brewing's the way. Good evening, Mr. Hobhouse. How are you? So, I'm drinking Wraggy Avenue number 1. Technically, it should be Wraggy Avenue number 2. No dry hops on this beer. No, done with syrup. The Imperial Ginger Barley Wine, that was dry hopped, but right at the last minute. Yeah, it's, I mean, with some of these beers, it's more about the ABV and that than subtle things with the hops. I suppose, most of the stuff I drink, I'm not really worried about certain hop flavours, but yeah, I suppose when I start playing properly, you know, like getting an IPA kit and adding one hop to it, it's round about 8.5%. So it's an Imperial pumpkin spiced. Yeah. It's an Imperial pumpkin spiced mild. You've never homebrewed? Oh, it's awesome. And it's awesome to play around. For me, Andy, yeah. Yeah, it's a cost thing. And, you know, for the general population, for a lot of the population, they can't afford to do it. The extra malt would be the better way. I know that. But it's for the general population, I try and do beer with homebrew that people can look at and think, right, can I afford like 10 quid for the kit, 3 bags of extra sugar, then the syrup if they can get hold of it, obviously. And, you know, to make it more accessible. Yeah, I mean, home brewing is an awesome thing to do. You know, once you bought your fermentation bucket, 30 litre, and you know, once you've gone for it, it's half sugar, half spray malt. Yeah, there is that way, isn't there? Yeah, home brewing's good. If you're gonna go for it, go for something like go for the kits at start. I mean, Wilco's kits are great, but go for the kits where you don't have to add anything, and then once you're comfortable, then start playing around with kits, adding extra sugar, extra coffee, extra cocoa, extra rum and raisin stout if you like. Rum stout with raisins. Not rum stout, rum with raisins. Jesus Christ, Wraggy. Sort yourself out. Yeah, Benjamin. Look at, search for Bulldog Brews. The pint is in the fridge. Yes, it's in the fridge now. It's standing up the ways, like Liam Rusco told me to do, to cold crash it. Is the pint any good? I'll soon know. in about 5 days' time. Come Thursday night, when I do the Thursday night live, I'm going to be doing the pinter for the first time. So cold crash it for 24 hours, and then about 3 or 4 days in the fridge to condition. Yeah, it's coming out the fridge Thursday night, whether it needs more or not. Yeah, a lot of the beer kits these days are amazing. Bulldog Brews, definitely one of the better beer kits. Yeah, with a dock off. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God as well, because the wife will kill me if I take too much of the fridge up. Yeah. Yeah. It's such a big thing. I mean, I've got an American fridge and it's taking up a lot of space. Yeah. You wouldn't want to put it in a little fridge that sits underneath your sink, you know, underneath your worktops. You might struggle. Yeah. I bet you do. Yeah. Depends how big your fridge is. I mean, I've got a big fridge and it takes up a lot of room. I had to take one of the I've actually got a fridge, to be fair, but even that won't be big enough for the pinter. No, I'd need a full size under the counter fridge. I certainly think if you're going up to Yorkshire, to checking out all your local bottle shops, but more importantly, check out your local supermarkets. Get the beers cheap. Festival Razorback. I remember that one vaguely. First time in a year. That's going to be quite emotional. Yeah. You're both going to be in tears. You know, there's no doubt about it. You know, emotions. But, you know, thank God she made it through. You know, that's good evening. The biggest thing in life is that, you know, your parents, your loved ones made it through this awful year. Yes, no room in the fridge. If you've got no room in the fridge though, surely a cold place, a cool place in your house would be good enough. You know, I mean, my house is freezing, so there's lots of cool places. Coolish, at least. Downstairs toilet for one. Although I don't want anybody pissing on the pinter before I... Yeah, my shed, what, for conditioning? £25. You can't fault that, can you? You know, for 40 pints, 25 quid. You can see why a lot of people go into home brewing. Home brewing, there's some good kits out there, but there are also some good kits you can play around with. Once you have the confidence to play around with kits, then you can, like Disney did, like Walt Disney did, you can plus it. Bless you. So when's your wedding then? Or have you already had your wedding? I can see the comments. I've just had my second jab the other day. Bloody hell, the arm was aching yesterday. Just there it was. There was like a scab. Oh, so you don't need to leave it in the fridge after the 24 hours then, really? Is that what you're saying, Liam? I don't need to leave it in the fridge for a week. See, this is interesting. This is where the pinter... Right, yeah, that is interesting. So I could bring it down here and just stick it on the bar then. "24th of July. Ah, a month after my birthday. Bless you. Yeah, it does seem strange to leave beer in a fridge, to leave it in the fridge. I would have thought that normally you brew it and then you leave it in the warm. It's weird, it's weird, and the instructions are crap. Once I've sorted it out once and got it to brew perfect, I'll rectify all the instructions so that everybody knows how to do it the home brewer's way, not the pinter's way. The 4th of July. Independence Day. Job's a good one. Somebody else's birthday's on the 4th of July. Saw it today. Definitely saw somebody else's birthday on the 4th of July. And it wasn't, yeah, do it the home brew way. Yeah, I agree, matey. And this is why I'll contradict what pine to say. The best thing is to get it brewing at the best. Not to listen to some... It's like with the granules. They were telling us to mix the granules up with cold water, and I'm like, but... And they came out, and I had to sweat it out in the end. That was the first time I brewed. You drank the lot and brewed it again. Fair play there. Good evening, Steve. How are you, matey? Yeah. These big firms, they brew it, they do it their way. And you know, like Frank Sinatra says, I'll do it my way. Fair play there. And pints, 40, mate. Yeah, 40. 40 at 8, about 8 to 8.5%. I think it's more 8.5% because of the adding of the syrup. I've got to 18 minutes, Jesus. Home brewing's a great hobby to get into, you know, it's and the syrups that are available these days, oh god, yeah, we ain't like other channels that are getting banned at the moment. For whatever reason they got banned for, not that I know a lot, but as far as I know, and I've heard, Beer Hooligans channel has been banned. Or at least it's offline anyway, for whatever reason. So anyway, obviously it's a hazy pour. It's around about 8.5%. I do get the pumpkin spice aromas. Yeah, I think there was some comments on there that he personally said that triggered a reaction across YouTube, Twitter, and a bit more besides. Yeah, it's down for the moment anyway. Whether it reappears or not, I don't know. It's not really my interest. But yeah, I know some bits of the happened. I don't really know him, to be honest, so I can't say one way or the other. As long as I don't get banned, that's all that matters to me. Banned for drinking pumpkin spice mild. The Magnum Strawberry Cider Kit. Yeah, the Magnum Strawberry Cider Kit. If anybody's thinking of doing ciders, that kit is the craziest kit on the market for strawberry cider. It's absolutely immense, and it gets you as drunk as you can be. I brewed it once, and I ain't got a clue what the ABV was, but it must have been high till 1 litre wiped me out. 2 or 3 nights on the run, and I got a red card and I had to ditch it. Yeah, I don't say anything controversial, to be fair, so it ain't going to happen to me. No, I didn't. Not at that time, to be honest, you know. I didn't play around with the kits then. Maybe then I wasn't the drinker I am now. Or I could stand the high ABV as I can now. Maybe. I might have to go back down and revisit that one, because it was a cracking cider. You could have it still. Go Ted, is it still cider that you've made? Is it or sparkling? Curiosity sakes. For me, the still cider version is actually quite the stronger of the two. I might have to do a rebrew. Yeah, I might have to get it again. Oh, the neighbours were well happy. Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah. We've been best mates ever since. Yeah, they absolutely loved it. Yeah, best beer ever. Any of the big online brewery shops? Yeah. Love Brewing. Yeah, it is strong. Yeah. I would hazard a guess that you could go up to 6 kilograms of sugar in the first place, because the yeast that they use is amazing, and you could really batter that yeast in. My vodka wash is still bubbling. Once it clears, then I can go to, it's going to take about a week to clear, then I can go to see where it goes from there, really. Still bubbling now. Glad to see the Imperial mild, Wraggy Avenue #1 bottled up. Looking forward to the cream stout. Both the Imperial mild and the cream stout are amazing beers. Right, need to finish this one off, really. Yeah, it is a bit of an acquired taste unless you can get it distilled. But if you can't get it distilled, well, see, you can ferment vodka, and then you can add, use the still spirits, you know, the flavourings to flavour them up. There'll always be a slight aftertaste, but as long as you do like a caramel vodka, the caramel masks rather. Yeah, definitely. The caramel will mask the off tastes, but fermented vodkas are totally legal. Distilled is where you've got to be careful. You bought the caramel for it. Yeah, you should get away with it, mate. Yeah. I will tell you that the vodka on its own, no. But something to mask the taste, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you should be fine. I've done it before. I've used Alcatech and their 23% ABV yeast, and yeah, it was pretty decent, to be fair. Anyway, right. Really getting a lot of the pumpkin spice, the autumn spice flavours coming through. Banana at the front of this also. Yeah, you can get homebrew whiskey kits, and again, it's the same it's the same premise as the vodka kits, but it's cheaper to do it the wash way that I'm doing than that way. Beautiful, mate. Absolutely beautiful. You'll know in August. You'll know in August. Yeah. There'll be some live re-reviews if you're up for it, obviously. It's lovely. And it's only ever going to get better. Tastes amazing. This is where getting a standard homebrew kit, adding extra sugar to ramp up the ABV, getting syrup to add more flavour if you want to change the flavour, add chocolate, vanilla, pumpkin spice, as this is. There's a lot you can do. It's an interesting world to come in, as it were. Whoa. Anyway, it's a beautiful beer and strong. It's 8.5%, and it's easy. It's going down well. Hogarden, yeah, it's okay. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have touched it. Yeah, he is. He can off too. And oh, good on you. You see, your hotel's about a mile from my house. I don't mind walking the dog up. And after a few pissed up beer reviews, and then walking the dog back. So yeah, I've got some homebrew sorted out, don't you? Well, by the time you come in August, yeah, we'll do the beer festival now, and then the next night you're gonna get battered. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Slurpee. You must have heard the bell ringing. One will ring it again. This is the Craft Beer Festival in August. Me and Craig are going to the Craft Beer Festival. There are no tickets at the moment. We're going on the Friday night. However, should restrictions drop before then, there will be a lot more tickets open on the Friday night, especially for those who live near Nottingham, obviously. This is it, Meister Dubs. You know, this is where, as a channel, we've not only got this as a YouTube channel, but we've got the beer review community page on Facebook, and you know, all these people who are homebrewers, all mixing up ideas, different, you know, playing around with stuff. It's what it's all about, and it's interesting, isn't it? You know, you may win, you may lose. I may have lost with all three of these kits I've brewed, but I haven't so far, and that's the good thing. You know, cleanliness is godliness and all that. So 28 minutes in, I need to kill this one off to come back with the Imperial. What spray malt? I don't know. Spray malt, it's like a sugar, isn't it? It's basically a form of sugar that you add, you mix up. Unless somebody wants to see you later, Thomas. Have a good one, mate. It's like Ovaltine. It looked like Ovaltine the other night when travel. Oh, daughter's phoning me. Go and phone your mum. Dry malt extract, yeah. Basically looks like sugar, to be fair. It's just like a posh version of sugar that's meant for beer, if we're being honest. And good thing I had the thing turned down then. So, to kill this one off, It's hazy at the moment. It's about 8.5% ABV. It is the way, but you know, if you're on a budget, you know, you go for the cheapest option, don't you? One must remember that a lot of people across the UK are struggling. So to go for the cheaper option, yeah, spray malt is the way. I do agree with you, but it depends on your financial capabilities. So hazy, I would say chestnutty pour, mahogany, maybe mahogany more than chestnut pour. Massive banana on the nose. I've got all the variations of pumpkin spice. This is a beautiful mild 8.5%. It worked, and this is day one. It's only going to get better. Yeah, temperature is critical. My temperature in the shed's been crap, to be fair, but I really hope that the pumpkin spice makes it at the end. You know, when the secondary fermentation kicks in, it is a strong mild, 8.5%. It's Wraggy Avenue, number 1. Oh yeah. Interesting though. Without bumping it up too much, because I daren't go too high. I don't think it'll be that high. Strength wise, wow, it knocks the bollocks off you. And if any ladies watching, it gives you a good kick in up the backside. Out of 5 for me. Ooh. Against other homebrew that I've brewed, definitely about a 4.64 out of 5. So yeah, definitely an interesting homebrew. Your maths are well out. Do apologise for that rather loud laugh. Yeah, but it is nice. Wow. And to think, I'd sing that, but you'd fucking hate me for singing it, so I'm not going to bother. But if I was at work, I would do a Wraggy Avenue song, but I'm not at work, and I've got 37 people watching, man. It's rather embarrassing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Come October, when we have the beer festival, I will save so many bottles so that those who come to the beer room, whether it be on the Friday of the festival or maybe the Saturday for those hanging around on the Saturday, I will sort out bottles so that at least we can have a sample and maybe do turn the camera around and maybe do a mass review, like 10 people reviewing all at once. Now that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? A community review. There's a thought, eh? Yeah. Anyway, back in 2 minutes with the last review of the night, an Imperial Stout, Buxton Brewery. Cheers all.